On the outside, it looks simple enough, but you soon realize that this is no ordinary farmhouse. This is a candy wonderland. The walls, by the way, are covered with antique candy molds. Thousands and thousands of antique candy molds.
We have 4 rooms full of them here, so that you can have now and count about 8,000 different molds. No one has what we have. Ours is extraordinary. It's really a museum in itself. And I want to make it that one day.
Dorothy Timberlake may look a bit like Mrs. Santa Claus, but behind the gentle face of this former schoolteacher and housewife lurks a shrewd New Hampshire entrepreneur and founder of Timberlake Candies.
Well, let's see. I was living in Belmont, Massachusetts, and my husband and I have 5 children, and they had all left home. And he was a very busy doctor, being a neurologist in Greater Boston. We have our home in Belmont, and I asked him for my birthday while we were up here. We come up here every summer, and if he'd try to find some of the candy molds that I remember as a little girl when I lived in Cambridge. I lived right near Harvard Square, grew up there. And my doctor's wife used to make the barley candies and sell them at Fisk's Candy Store in Harvard Square in Cambridge. And so he did find them for me for my birthday. And by the end of the summer, I had about 50 customers up through the White Mountains. And I said, well, if they sell here, they'll probably sell when we have to go back to take the children back to school in Belmont. And they did.
Dorothy's daughter, Faith, now helps her mother run the family business.
It's a traditional, old-fashioned barley candy, which has been made the same way for hundreds of years, literally. I'm not sure if they were using corn syrup. The original form was barley sugar, which had the barley water, sugar, and a little bit of cream of tartar and water, and that was it.
Barley candy dates back to the 17th century, where it was a special Christmas byproduct of beer making. Transparent, hard, twisted sticks of barley sugar were made by boiling down cane sugar and a decoction of leftover barley pearls.
We have a whole assortment of Christmas lollipops, lovely variety, mostly reds, greens, yellows, and white. And the white is, we put a marshmallow in to make it white, like the snowman would be white, or the angel could be white. And we have, all of these are made from old-fashioned molds. So you won't find them in the, you find similar, but not like these, in the regular store.
If you add them all up, we probably got about 160 different flavors. A few years ago, when Texas was booming, they like armadillos down there. So we made them some armadillos. But the crazy thing about it is they wanted them in jalapeno flavor. So we made thousands of jalapeno-flavored armadillos. And we had it 1, 2, and 3 alarm. I mean, it's stuff you could just hold in your mouth and eat it for a little bit and go, and then put it back in your mouth. It's like if you like chili, you would have liked these pops. But you wouldn't think sweet and hot would be good. But I liked it, because I like spicy food. But that was a little strange, I think.
We also make molds for if you had something that you want made up. And we use for the sampling like that, we use a medical-grade silicone, which is safe for food. And being flexible, when you pour it in, the dish pops right out and doesn't break. And when it's cold, it's very brittle. You have to be very careful. And of course, this, most of the time, needs to be filed around the edge. But if you're careful enough, you don't have to file this, because it's filled halfway or 3/4 of the way. And then you sit down while it's a temperature of 300 degrees, and you tip it around like so. And it'll take 10 minutes or so or more to do each one. So they are really all hand done. And then you set them down either in front of the fan or however you want. And when they're cool enough, you pop them out.
Yeah. Now I have to go all the way around the edge and take off all of this extra overpour on it. And there's your dish.
Don't worry about waste being generated in this business. With 15 grandchildren, Dorothy has a steady source for her leftovers.
We have a whole bucket of rejects, of course. If something's wrong with a lollipop, it goes in the bucket. And they come and raid it quite often. But we have to be careful not let them do it too much. Although the candy doesn't have anything in it except, of course, sugar, but it doesn't have all the additives that most of the market candy has. And many customers come back year after year because they say, my child doesn't have the reaction that they have from the sugar from other lollipops. Please, may we have some? Oh, it's a treasure to me. Well, I would say we make a profit, but I'd like to see a little more because we work so hard for it. We really do. And I think when you make something by hand, you don't really get paid what you should for it. But there is a deep appreciation and an emotional turnover when you know that you've done something successfully. And you know the satisfaction that I get from the customers is so rewarding.